I'm at 24,000. David, get 5. David, down 50,000. David, get 45 bid, 47. 7. I get 45,000. David, get 70 more. 47, 40, 50. Now 50. Mr. Chance, 50. David, get 17,000. David, do down 20. 20. David, do down 20.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We're here in Kissimmee, Florida, at the Mecum auto auction down here, and this is my first time being at a collector car auction. But anyway, it is great down here. It's going to be a good day. We're going to go around and look at some of the cars that are going to be up for auction this week. But anyway, we'd like for you to come along and join us. So let's get out here and take a look. Yeah, almost any kind of car you can imagine is here. Here's a Mustang 67 convertible. We're looking for it to go between 75,000 and 100,000. Well, it really is clean, though, isn't it? And wow, look at that Cuda right there. That'd be a 71 model. I think that's the only year a Cuda has the 4 headlight system in the front. Got the big billboard sticker on the back, quarter panel back there. The shaker hood. It has 23,000 actual miles on it. I think the estimate was between 150 and 175,000 on this car. I'm in the building now. It's got some of the really nice cars in it. Here's a Challenger, 1970 model. And here's another one on the side of it in orange. Okay, here's a Plymouth Superbird that is unrestored. It has 21,000 actual miles on it. And the estimated going price on this is between $375 and $425, but I think it's a 440 with the 4-speed 446 pack. Okay, here we got a few T-Birds. This blue one here's a 57. That I'm gonna call that watermelon. There it's a 55. And the white here is another 57. Now, I don't know how well you can tell it on my camera, but usually 55 through 57 T-Birds, they look the same in the front end, and you kind of think they're all the same. But as you can see, this 55 here, it's got a short trunk lid. Let me swing around here to the 57. You can see it's quite longer on the 57, and they also developed these fins on the 57. As you can see how they tilt out to the side, whereas on the 55 they're straight up and down. So even though they look very similar, they did change a good bit. See the exhaust coming out through the bumper too on the 57 there. It's always good to get cars like this together side by side where you can kind of compare the differences. Or I enjoy it anyway. Hey, here's a 69 Super B. And I think it's got 23,000 actual miles on it here. And it's got the 446 pack, and it's actually an automatic on a column with a bench seat in here. If you Look at this Buick Riviera right here. It says they've got 1.25 million in this build right here, and it's expected to go between $500,000 and $600,000. It was a SEMA car show built by Detroit Speed. Look at the big Lincoln Continental there with the suicide doors. The things that makes this rare is it is a four-door convertible. And what do we have over here side of it? It's huge, whatever it is. This is a 1934 Cadillac. Look at that Bronco there. I like that color on that. Now in this building there's a lot of the cars being, enclosed in here, but there are a lot of cars that aren't quite as high quality builds, and we'll take a look at some of those here in a few minutes. There's definitely enough here to keep you busy for several days looking at cars here. Got Shelby right there. What is that, a 68 or? No, yeah, it's 68. GT 500 KR Fastback got the 428 Cobra Jet. And they're expecting this to go between 225 and 250. And beside of it, there's another Shelby. This one's a convertible. This one also has the 428 engine in it here, but this one only has like 3,500 actual miles. So this is a brand new car right here, basically. It's just been put back and preserved. I think the white one there had like 68,000, which isn't a high mileage car in any stretch of imagination for that car. Oh, what we got here, a 70 Boss 302. This one has been rotisserie restored. And they're estimating 125 to 150,000 on this one. Buick GS Stage 1 convertible. Take a closer look at it. Wow, I expect it to go from 200 to 250, but it's got 9,000 actual miles. One of 67 factory 4-speed Stage 1 convertibles built. So it is definitely a low numbers car. Demon looks good there in that purple, doesn't it? Here's a newer Viper. I'm gonna have to start walking more and talking less if I want to get around everything. Well, I like the green on that Nova there too. Well, that's a good looking Nova. And here's the 69 Chevelle. 68 Camaro with nose stripe there. Ice tray hood. 80 to 100,000. What they're estimating on this one. Okay, here's a 69 Shelby convertible. The 69 and 70 are my favorite from the older Shelbys there. This is another 67 or 68, I think. 67. Black and white. Shelby sure looks good there, doesn't it? Only 25,000 miles on this, and it is the 454. Okay, this is a 1970 Z28, and it had the 350 engine with 360 horsepower, which was very healthy back then. Okay, it's got 65,000 actual miles, and the estimate on this is 125 to 150,000. This is a pretty one right here. It's a Dodge Viper. Definitely not the standard Viper, though. I don't know a lot about Vipers. I know even less about Ferraris. Look at that old Mercedes. I know very little about Mercedes also, but that's really a neat looking car, isn't it? That's what the estimate is on this one. 1.6 to 1.8 million dollars. Odometer reads 856 miles. This is a brand new car. Wow, that's amazing right there. It's a 1958 model. There's a Bugatti, which is actually out of my price range. And what is this? A Shelby Daytona? The estimate on this one is 600 to 700,000, but I actually thought it would be more. There's one of the Ford GT40s.
That's why I want to race this. Because they were able to design it.
69 RSSS there. And here's a 68 RSSS. Estimate's 90 to 110,000. And it is a convertible. And look, there's one of the Bandit style Trans Am, I guess you call it. Got the snowflake wheels on there and the T-tops, which were so popular back in the day. I had a 79 model myself with the T-tops. The Corvette row over here. This is a 61 model that's got the Fuel injected 283 in here. That black silver coves there looks really good. Red interior. It's a nice looking car here. I think that one's a 63. I think that's the only year it's got the that hood chrome there, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it's got the old spoke hubcaps on this one. What year model is this? 69 model. And that is a 427 in there. Now these hubcaps, when I was younger, I found a set of these at a flea market for like $10 for a set. So I thought that's a good deal, Corvette hubcaps. I bought them, and when I got them home, I found out that where this sticks out here, the ones I bought were flat, and I found out that they were actually the Corvette option that you could get on the Monte Carlo or the Impala. So I didn't score like I thought I did when I bought them, but they still were worth what I gave for them, I guess. And like I say, this was been several years ago. Here's a newer ZR1. Same year, it's actually a 95 model. There's another 71 Cuda. This one is a convertible. It also says Hemi on the billboard back there. So that should make the price go up considerably. Yeah, this has 30,000 actual miles on it. And the estimate is 2.75 to 3.25 million. So get your checkbooks out. Okay, it says this is a Baldwin Motion 69 Camaro, and it was the only one built with a legendary LS7 454 525 horsepower engine. So this is the only one of these that were ever built, and the estimate on this one is between 800,000 and 2 million. Really a beautiful car here. And get this, 1,800 actual miles. They bought it, they put it back. It says it new, it cost $6,193, and I don't know what a new Camaro cost. I've seen it before, you know, what a new 69, but my guess would be that maybe a little over 3,000 or so. So that is really nice. Big Cadillac convertible, 1953 model. And here's a Buick. Again, it's convertible. Isn't that fancy looking though? It's a 53 model. And here's an old Oldsmobile. I'll get the years, probably 55 or somewhere in there, 56. Actually a 57 model. Here's a bunch of Ferraris in this next building here, but I think I'm gonna walk out to one of the tents and get away from some of the higher dollar cars and show some of the cars that I guess people like me could possibly buy. Anyway, let me go out there and take a look. As a matter of fact, I'll just let y'all walk with me as I go out there. As you can see, this building here is full of Ferraris, it looks like. See a few other cars here too. Actually, I don't know. They might be all Ferraris.
It's not just a car. It's a car that has been carefully thought and imagined months and months before the factory delivery. The materials color from the
Sells at
Now
no
they
reserve.
have,
15,000. You better get
screens set up at
15. You better get
various
15.
places around the lot
17. Now
here.
17.
So if
I
you're
had
not in there on the
15,000. You better get
option board, you can see what's going on
17,000. Other part.
inside.
At 17,000.
Now,
You better get
56,
17.
Ford Thunderbird
16.
convertibles
17.
on the block.
16,000. You better get $17,000. 18. Nope. Got 17 on the internet. 18,000. You better give 18. At 17's the bid. You better give 18. You better give 18. 19. I have 18. You better get 19.
Hey, they've got these sheds everywhere where they got the cars enclosed. Here, I'm gonna walk past this one for the time being. And these are just tents out here that they've set up. And I think I'll walk through this one and maybe take a look over there in that one and see what's out here. Wow, look at that 55 Nomad right there. That is a really pretty car. It looks like they restored it back to original appearance. Looks even got the little spotlight there, doesn't it? I don't think they had these hubcaps in 55, but I could be wrong, but I don't think they did, but they look good on there. That's really clean. Really good chrome. The estimate is 100 to 125,000. Here's a Porsche out here. Here's a 62 Chevrolet. And what I looked at when I first walked up is, did it have this 409 symbol on there? Because if it came with that 409, it will definitely add some price to the car. And it is a manual transmission in there. It did come with the 409 with the 4-speed. It's got 38,000 actual miles. The estimate is 120,000 to 140,000. There's a Corvette there in that candy paint, it looks like. It's a 66 model. I see it's had an LS swap in it. Well, that's really good looking paint on this thing.
Oh, yeah, you want it to look, it's close, but you want it to update with the modern.
That's correct. But you don't want to lose.
Look at the old 442. These are, well, the ones I just looked at are some high dollar cars too. One of the officials told me that you actually pay a premium to get your car parked on the inside in one of the buildings. This one, 1974 42 W30, estimate is 180 to 200,000. There's a big 58 Impala convertible there. I said 58 is 59. Big difference between those two there. This is incredible. Where do they find these cars at? The estimate is 200,000 to 225. It's got the 348 engine in there. Well, that's nice. Okay, it says this is a 1948. If I'm saying it correctly, is Allard, maybe Allard. But anyway, I don't know if I've ever even saw one of those before. And there's a Ferrari with 14,000 miles on it. So, you know, I could just kind of glance at the front end and assumed it was a Ferrari. It's actually an Acura NSX. I think this is rear engine. Yeah, I have seen these around before, but not very often. I think they said there's 356. No, 533 sold in the U.S. And It has a V6 engine. Now this is a Shelby GTH, and the H stands for Hertz. As you can see, they actually have the Hertz emblem right here on the side of the car. But you could actually rent these. This is a convertible, and I looked at the mileage, and there's less than 1,000 miles on this thing. And you do see these every now and then. But here's a Hertz Penske GT. I did not know that Penske made rental cars for Hertz, but apparently they do. And that would be a Boss 302 there. And another one. And there's the Saleen Ranger again. I didn't know Saleen made modified a Ranger. 1970 Chevelle. My goodness, the odometer reads 147. 100,000, 125. Oh, it's 147 since completion. Okay, that makes a lot more sense there, doesn't it? Now these tags, not only do they show the details about the car, but they actually tells them when they're going to go across the block. So if you're here wanting to buy something, you can look. So this is going to go through Thursday, January 15th, which would be tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, the 14th. And when you come in through the gates each morning, they give you a slip that shows every car on there that's going to be coming through that day. And they leave a space where you can actually write down what it's sold for if you want to keep track of that. Here's a 57 Chevy pickup's been restored. And this estimated to go between 100 and 125,000. Nice leather interior. Looks like it might be gator skin there in the insets. Did a little modification, moved the tail lights down underneath the tailgate there, removed the bumper, and that actually added another tail light there in the center, which I think become mandatory like somewhere in the maybe early 90s or so on newer cars. You know, on a lot of these trucks, that this basic body style ran from 55 to 59. 58 and 59 had a 4 headlight system, but something I've noticed about these trucks, almost everybody removes the trim off the fenders. This would say 3100 here on the side normally, and they removed the front hood trim. You'd have an emblem here in the front, but I don't know if everybody just likes the cleaner look, but it does seem like they move it a lot of times. What is this, a Plymouth? A 64 Plymouth Sport Fury convertible. Got the 383 in here. The estimate on this one's 75,000 to 90, and the odometer reads 60,000. Yeah, that's nice. That console with the manual shifter in there. It looks good. Here's a 2024 ZL1 Camaro. I see Hendrick Motorsports decals there on the car. Got a little extra flaring and stuff here in the front. And there's the Cuda. Wow, you don't see that very often. Still got the slots on it. It says a Hemi Cuda. But I see these. This reminds me of the streets back in the late 70s and early 80s. These slots here. Even got 50s in the front and back. A lot of times you'd run 50s or 60s in the back and 70s in the front. But that Hemi will probably do a lot for the price on this one. Yeah, the estimate is 175 to 200. Okay, this Hemi Cuda is a little different right here. And I don't usually read all the poster boards, but this one is worth reading. I said 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda, the Guatemalan Hemi Cuda. This 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda is one of the most unique and unusual Hemi Cudas known to the Mopar community. Built at the Hamtramck, Michigan assembly plant, maybe that's what you say it, assembly plant on October 6, 1969. The car's early history is still a mystery, but it is rumored that Chrysler kept this car for more than a year to help develop the new E-body for racing. Interestingly, the car was not delivered to a dealership, but believed to have been sold directly by Chrysler to the first owner in Guatemala in December 1970. The Hemi Cuda remained in Guatemala until the late 1980s, when it was brought back to America by a collector in Texas. The Texas collector sold the car to the current owner more than 25 years ago at the Mecum Belvedere Spring Classic Auction in 2000. Built with very few power or convenience options, this heater delete, radio delete Hemi Cuda features a rare fiberglass racing dash with a metric speedometer and kilometers. This time capsule retains its early 1970s blue-gray gunmetal paint job and professionally worked fender flares. Featured in Mopar's Collector's Guide, the Guatemalan Hemi Cuda was collected for the 426 Hemi Invitational at the the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in 2014. That is an interesting story. I don't usually read. I know it might be boring to hear that read, but that is some history on that car to find out that possibly this was their development car. And a fiberglass dash and a speedometer and kilometers. That's definitely different. So yeah, this car is very unusual. Hemi Cuda. Okay, here's a 1969 Boss 429. Here's a 69 Copo Camaro that carried the 427 engine with the 4-speed. Here's a Trans Am here. I like that white with the blue stripes. 69 model, and the estimate is 150 to 175 on this one. I like the little wing spoiler there. I like the way they took the, I think they mandated reflectors in 68, but how you like the way they took this Rising Phoenix, and if you had to put it on there and make it stylish. It's kind of a neat little thing they did there. Okay, here's a 1968 Corvette, which was the first year for this body style C3. But it is the L89, I think. Has the 427 engine in it, and this is unrestored with 13,000 actual miles, and the estimate on this is 175 to 200,000. And I see it does have those spoke hubcaps there, like we talked about earlier. Optional luggage rack. Something that was only on 68 is the door handle here. You've got to mash this in and you push the button. But after this year, they went to just the push in because people didn't like the two-step door handles there. That was only on 68. And beside it, here's this '69 model Corvette. It's also a L89 with the 427. Very little's changed about the cars, but the door handle I was talking about, see how the button is missing now? Let's swing back around here. See here you have the button you had to mash in to open the door. They did away with that after '68. That was for 1 year, and I think nobody liked that. And here's a 70 LT1 convertible. I think that was the 350 horse. Okay, paperwork says it's the 350 with 370 horse. There's a LS6 convertible, so I guess that's got the 454 in it like the LS6 Chevelle would have. Estimate's 115 to 125 on this one. There's a '69 Chevelle. Look at the way the stance is on that. They got it kind of sit up a little high. I actually like my car sitting up a little bit high. It's just a personal taste thing. Good looking car though. Here's one I think is a newer Ferrari. It's 2022. 500,000 to 600,000 is the estimate on this one. Really clean Chevy tuning over there. 66 model. I have done a LS swap on here. Okay, here's a 1970 Corvette, and it was restored by Petty's Garage. If you're familiar with Richard Petty, and almost anybody who knows about cars is, but it's showing the 454, and it has been restored by them, and they expect 250 to 270,000. It's got a 502 engine in here. I was a fan of the side pipes there, especially the ones that come out like these do here. Back in the late 70s and early 80s when you'd see them on the street a lot. Here's a 1940 Chevrolet, shiny black paint. I think the estimate was 50 to 75 on this one. There's a newer Ferrari over here. That's what you need over there. You need a race car for the street. Actually, I'm wrong. I thought this was a recreation for the street because of the way the headlights are. This is actually the real deal race car here. This is a 33 Ford Custom. Coupe it says, and they have done a lot of changes on this, as you can see. So what the estimate is on this one, 85 to 95,000. And I can't begin to describe all the custom touches on this one. When they changed the whole roof line, chopped it down, looks like they've extended the chassis. Of course, that's a custom grill there. Headlights, there's a lot going on here. And here's a '69 Z28 beside it. There's no estimate on the price on this one, but it does still retain the 302. And Here's a Bentley here. Okay, here's a 1930 Ford. And really good paint on here. That's candy looking paint. But the estimate on this one is $50,000 to $75,000. And if you're looking for a little coupe, this is actually a really nice one, it looks like. Here's a 1970 Chevelle Super Sport. Let's have 396 in there. Here's a 72 SS convertible 454. Now it looks like it's a manual transmission. I haven't looked at the sheet yet, but looks like I see a shifter sticking up there. Yeah, there it is. Estimate is $65,000 to $75,000. And there's a Nova post car. $396 with a 4-speed. No estimate on price on this one. It's got the little dish hubcaps or poverty caps. As some people call them. Here's a 1956 Chevrolet, and it carries the 427 engine under the hood. I think the estimate on this one was $100,000 to $125,000, but it's really well done. See, aftermarket gauges, custom interior there, leather. I like it when they stuff the tires in there like that. Okay, here's a 69 GT350 Shelby. Here's a Jeep Wagoneer, and these were very utilitarian vehicles. People, you know, use them for work, and they hauled the kids to school and get groceries and things like that. But one day the price on these things just exploded, I guess, as they started disappearing. And this wood grain on the side, if that's on there, that just makes them that much better. I mean, this is really a nice Wagoneer right here. It's an 83 model, and the estimate is $80,000 to $100,000. There's a 69 Mach 1. And what did they do that Camaro? That's a Copo. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking they build a lot of these just for drag racing. $632 is what's got on the fender there. Okay, they built 69 of these, and I think they did that on purpose in honor of the 69 Camaro, but I'm not sure. But I do remember when these come out, but I can't remember the details. But the price on this one's estimated $160,000 to $180,000. Here's a 2024 2SS 40th anniversary Hendrick Motorsports. Estimate is $100,000 to $125,000. Here's another 69 Copo Camaro, which this one is just a little bit different the way the Copo story is. One of the things that's special about this one is the paint. This paint color, which is Monza red, was not offered on the Camaro, but you could get it on the Corvette. So they did a Copo order on it and got it approved to paint it this color. So you won't see many from the factory with this color, but it is a 396 4-speed car. I think they estimate that one like 150 to 175, I think. And here's a 63 split one, I think. Yeah. Here's an old Mercedes-Benz. Says it's a 52 model. And I'm getting too caught up in the cars. You know, I start walking a little bit more. Here's an old 442, somewhere in the mid to late 60s. 66. Oh, got the, what is that, 3.2s on there? There's a Pontiac GTO Judge. Got that air intake there for the ram air. No estimate on this one. And beside it, here's a 67 Camaro there, and I guess a medium blue. .396 4-speed. Estimate on this one's 100 to 125. Well, look at that big Cadillac convertible there. This is 22,000 actual miles. I'm telling you, I think that would look good riding down the road in that. Look at the fins on that thing. It says it's got 22,000 actual miles, but even though it was low mileage car, they did completely restore this car. I think the estimate's like 175 to 200 to 225. That's really a nice car. And here's another 63, I think. Here's a 1970 AAR Cuda. And the paperwork says this was actually previously owned by Ray Everhound. If you're familiar with NASCAR, he used to be Jeff Gordon's crew chief. And what is this over here? Cannonball. Is that from the movie Cannonball Run? It's got California plate on front. Yeah, it says 1976 Cannonball movie car. It's 455, 4-speed. Estimate's 150 to 200,000. And I guess it's from the prominence of being in the movie. Here's a GT350 KR Shelby. Got the 428 Cobra jet. 180 to 220 is the estimate. I tell you, they've got that engine just stuffed in there. As you can see, there's a lot of engine for this car. There's a pretty Ford Bronco. Setting up kind of high, looks really good, and they haven't cut the wheel wells out on it, which happened to a lot of these. I had a friend who owned a red one, and I think after he bought it that following Christmas, his wife actually bought him some of the wheel well covers so he could cut the wheel wells out for bigger tires and put those over the cut. Says this one has a supercharged Coyote engine in there, and I think the estimate's 175. Let me look up there again. I glanced at it. Yeah, 175 to 185 is their estimate. Now, I'm about to go into this tent now. As you can see, there's another tent over there on the other side. And I spoke to my wife, Smiles a lot on the phone. She's here making video also, but she's in tents on the other side of the auction building that I haven't even been to yet. So anyway, watch out for her video too on Smiles a Lot with 2 T's. And I've got to walk more and talk less, but I can't keep myself from talking because I really enjoy these cars. A 64 right here, and let me show you something I noticed. They removed the original taillights and added these in, and I have no idea what car these came off of. For some reason I'm thinking a Buick or Oldsmobile or something, but I have no idea, honestly. But they did go with custom taillights there. Now here's a 66 that now has a 350 engine in it, which wouldn't be what came in there. Probably, if that Stinger's true, it probably come with a big block there. Yeah. This is 67. I think it says that's a 47 Chevrolet there. 64 through 66 Mustang there. That one is a 65. Got the pony interior, I think. Yeah, got the little horses there in the seat. If you can see, it is an automatic convertible there. There's a 75 model Corvette, 43,000 actual miles on there. There's a 455 Trans Am, 4-speed. That's a good looking car, I like that. And here's one of the Bandit styles. I'm forcing myself to keep walking and not stop and talk. I got 446 pack on that Challenger there. These are one of my favorites, the 1970. Is this a Roadrunner? Yeah, it's a Roadrunner. It's got the stripe there. Didn't know if I was looking at a Roadrunner or GTX there for a minute. Oh, and this is a Hemi too. The estimate is 250 to 275. And it is 4-speed. Pistol grip shifter in there. That color doesn't hurt the value of it any either. Of course, the orange on that Challenger looks pretty good too, that black stripe. Got the alligator top. Tell you what, they've got several million gators in Florida now. I don't doubt you don't someday see gator tops come back. Just for the safety of the public. They're getting overrun, it seems like. Well, I say down in Florida, but I'm actually in Florida right now, so I guess I was thinking I was at home. We got 57 convertible in that pale yellow right there. I really like that. I hadn't even made it over to it yet, but just standing here from a distance in that gold, it actually blends well with that yellow. I don't have the estimate on this one, but it's showing the 283 horsepower. That would be the fuel injection. Wait a minute, it says 3-speed. Oh, must be. Well, let me look. Let me investigate this. I had to take a look inside when it said 3-speed, but yes, this is a 3-speed on the column. I would think that being convertible, it would be a automatic. I think they had the power glide back then. But wow, yeah, look, 3-speed on the column. Got the Continental kit. That's an unusual color. I don't remember seeing that color before on a 57 that I can remember. I really like that car. Let me move on. This is an Alfa Romeo Spider right here. I don't know much about this. That's a pretty car to look at, but I don't really know very much about them. I remember Get Smart drove a Sunbeam Tiger, or Don Adams and Get Smart drove one that was red and it looked similar to this, but I don't know if they're made by the same companies or not. That's just a memory from childhood there. Another early Mustang convertible. Okay, 69 Chevelle, 396 4-speed. No estimate on it. There's a Bentley. I've seen these cars before, and I think they're good-looking cars. Again, a car I don't know anything about, as is this Porsche here. 32 Ford Custom Roadster there. No estimate on it. Oh, look, there's another one of the Copos. Well, I think we saw a white one a while ago. So this one, the estimate should be about the same, I would think. Actually, they didn't put the estimate on this one. But yeah, it's the same one we saw earlier. There's another Shelby. And here's another little GT350. A 66 model. I had a friend had one of these years ago that was white, and it was so many years ago though we didn't really realize what we had our hands on. You know, we just thought it was another Mustang that come with a few more accessories back then, I think. And he sold it. Chrysler Town and Country. That thing is huge. And that is real wood there. Convertible. No estimate on that one. There's an Oge 442. I like the yellow and black stripes. That's good contrast. 455 4-speed. Again, no estimate on that one either. It's a Corvette, 1962 model. And look at this over here. Look at the shape of that. What is it? And look at the design here on the fender skirts there. This is a 34 DeSoto Airflow. And again, here's one you don't see very often. At the one time, I think the Chrysler Corporation may have bought DeSoto, but I'm not sure of that. Okay, a 1961 Austin Healey. You know, this is a 1957 Corvette. One thing about 57, you know, like on a 57, normal 57 Chevrolet, like a Bel Air or 210 or something, you know, on the hood they got the two stripes coming down, or I don't know what you call them, little raised lines there on it. And on the 57 they got the bullets on the front of it. But it's interesting that the 57 Corvette has lines like this, and then if you look at the 57 pickup truck, it also had lines in 1957 on the hood. So that's a styling trend that was in 57 that kind of went all the way across their vehicle line there. This is 57, and over here is a 58. And I really like it when you get two models side by side where you can look at the differences. See the way the exhaust exits there on the tip there, and the inset on there. It's on the 58 over here. You see your bumper comes all the way across, and it's got the covered over tail lights here. And of course, 58 was the first year for the 4 headlight system, as opposed to the 2 headlight system there. 70 Chevelle convertible. And it is a manual transmission convertible. 396, 350 horse. Still in this tent. I'm zooming up so you can see there's just so many more tents that I've got to keep talking less and walking more. So I'm gonna try my best to walk down this road. 2010 Corvette there. There's another Chevelle SS, got 454 badge on it. And here's a 69 Copo, I say Copo, Yenko Camaro. It says it has been rotisserie restored, and there's a Shelby 67 or 68, I think. And there, I don't know if that's a tribute Camaro to Dale Earnhardt or what, but I used to really love watching Dale Earnhardt race. I hate it when he got killed there at Daytona. Nice Trans Am. I think we've seen one almost identical to this earlier with the white with blue stripes. There's a Corvette. It's got the red Stinger there, and it does say 427 on the hood. Here's another one. Got the knockoff style wheels on it there. And this will be like 58, 59, maybe 60. Oh, wait a minute. It says it's a 60. I didn't look to check on that. I like those bigger wheels with the wide white wall there. Okay, there's a Pontiac GTO. I'm guessing 65 model. Here's another Porsche. ZR1 Camaro Corvette there. And what is this? I've got to stop. I can't just walk by this because I don't know what it is. 1961, and if I'm saying it right, Citroen, maybe. A little unusual. You don't see these around every day, do you? It looks like the track width in the front for between the front tires is a lot wider than it is in the back. Okay, here's another 69 Camaro SS. Got 427 badging on it there. And here's a McLaren. And here's a Buick Riviera. Those are the clamshell headlights that top goes up, bottom goes down. Are those, is that those? Now this is actually a 2004 Corvette that's had this body put on there. I guess it's made to look like the old original 53 Corvette. Got the grating over the headlights like the original Corvettes did. I used to call them tennis grating, what I used to call it. That's well done though. That one looks really good. I've seen some before that I didn't really care for, but that one's actually pretty neat. There's a big Buick Electra 225, probably mid-60s. Here's a Pontiac convertible, maybe 57, maybe. There's a 55 convertible. I gotta keep walking. I can't let myself stop. There's a 57 convertible and a 56 convertible. I wonder if this is part of somebody's collection because of all the convertibles here. Everybody's got things that they like. We took a look at this 56 earlier outside. Oh, look at that Buick. Did I walk by it earlier too? Or want to like it? Either way, that's really nice. Look at that Bonneville convertible, wow. Fuel injected emblem there on the side. Boy, the chrome on this one is really good. They restored that one well. Now here's a 58. '58 isn't one of my favorite body styles, but at the same time, I've seen 58s that are just absolutely beautiful before. And others, not so much. And one thing I like about 58s is all the chrome. I mean, they stuck chrome everywhere on these things. And even on the roof, if you had the Impala, they even had chrome on the back of the roof, just above the back glass. For no other reason, it just looks good. There's a 66 Chevelle convertible. 396 badging. There's a 442. And here's a Hummer. And that's actually a real Hummer there. It's not the civilian version. It doesn't look like. There's a Cuda with 383 billboard on it. 71 model. And here's another one of the Lincolns with the rear suicide door on it there, and being the 4-door convertible, just all that much better. Look at this big old thing. I don't think that falls in the category of muscle car, does it? But this one does. This is a 66 or 67 Charger here. And I think they added those scoops from a Super B, didn't it? I'm not sure. Yeah, I allowed myself to linger on this one just a little bit. They color matched the bumpers on it. Yeah, let me know about those hood scoops, whether they would have been factory to this car, but I'm thinking they weren't. That's a beautiful Blazer right there. I mean, that's really a sharp Blazer. Look at this. It says Honda there on the side. Little utility vehicle. It's got a little Honda mini bike here on the back. Here's another 1970 Chevelle convertible. Okay, here's a Camaro. Got 427 badging on it. It says hot rod test car. So I guess they tested various performance equipment on this car for Hot Rod Magazine. And I don't know if you're aware of it or not, this year is the 100th anniversary of Route 66. And my wife and I, my camera's messing up on me, but anyway, it's the anniversary of Route 66 this year. And my wife and I were planning on taking a trip, but even before we knew it was the anniversary. There's a red Hellcat. But anyway, Hot Rod, each year they do their power tour, and this year they are going to go down Route 66, or at least a part of it. I think from Illinois maybe to Missouri. It could go to Oklahoma, but we're thinking about trying to work in that this summer and go when they're going, but we hadn't made the details final yet. But wow, I really like this red truck. I had one like this, and I've always regretted selling it because I just really enjoyed driving that truck. That will probably bring some good money because it's clean, the bed's clean, it's straight. Got the original wheels and they hadn't jacked it up. It's a really good looking truck, so I'm expecting, there's no price listed there for the estimate, but my estimate is it's going to go pretty high. All right, what's this, a 63 or 64 Galaxy? I'm talking about the cars again. Aren't I? Oh, is this one of the Thunderbolts? Got the Thunderbolt hood out there. And the Hellcat we just passed down there wasn't the first one that had the air intakes there in place of the headlights. I think they were doing this on these in the fair lanes years ago. It's really a nice car, got good paint on it and everything.
Mustangs for days here.
Again, no estimate, but I think it should bring pretty good money. And is that a fiberglass bumper? On there, it's painted a silver color. So it could have a fiberglass bumper and hood there. If it is a true Thunderbolt. Look at that, there's a 67 GTO. Boy, that's pretty. Here's one of the GTOs. I think this is one of the earlier ones, like 64 or something. Let's take a look. I will stop at this one. Yeah, it is a 64. And there's no estimate on this one either, but it is a 4-speed, 442 W30 Oldsmobile there. And is that a Dart? I think it's a 68 model, whatever it is. Yeah, it is a 68 Dart. And the reason I said I think it's a 68 is because these little dots for the parking lot, amber in front and red in the rear, when they made them start putting parking lights on the, or side marker lights on the cars in 68, Chrysler Corporation just went out and bought, I guess, hundreds of thousands of those little dots and put it on almost all their cars. So pay attention to that next time you see a 68 model Charger or really anything from 68 to Roadrunner. They've all got that same little dot there for their side marker lights. Here's a 69 Hurst Odes. Got the 455 on it. And they've made Hurst Odes many different years over the years, but it would be this gold and white. And it sounded like maybe I seen where they had some black and whites. There's a 442 convertible back end. Another 58 Corvette here. And look at that Duster Got that big 340 call out on the hood there. And there's a Shelby Super Snake. And beside it here's this 59 El Camino. And it's in black and it looks really straight. Really nice looking El Camino there. And this is a 40 Ford. Yeah, it is a 40 Ford. He's got Arizona plates on there. Okay, beside it here's a 54 Ford Skyliner. And the reason they called it that, if you look here on the roof, you can actually see right through the roof down into the car. So yeah, you can drive your car and look at the sun during the day and the stars at night, I guess, if you want to. Pretty neat. Here's a 39 Ford. We just looked at the 40 Ford there a minute ago. I wish they were side by side, so you could look at the difference in the details on them. And here's a Jeep. What year model is it? 1986 model. Really, really clean condition there. Here's a 68 Corvette. I can tell from here because of that door handle over there, but it's got 427 badging on it. And look at this, Toyota Land Cruisers. These things are really popular. And here's another 65 GTO. Tri-power 4-speed, it says on the window. Another Odes 442. Around a 70 model or something like that. 71 it says. Oh, what we got here? Packard. This is worth taking a minute to take a look at, isn't it? Look at that. I thought it was a Studebaker when I first walked up on it. Didn't Studebaker and Packard merge at one time though? That's something I would have to research to see relationship in this, but we got something. Let me see what it says here. Okay, there's no information on the sheet here, but I've seen this setup before, but I don't know enough about it to make any comments on it other than y'all take a look at this. And I'll just leave it at that right there. Boy, this is really a pretty car. The gold fins back here. Tan leather interior. It's pretty nice. Another one of the Trans Ams. I had a 79, and this will be somewhere in that area. This is an 81. Later, model Trans Am around 2000, somewhere in there. It says it's 2002. I always liked the hoods on these. And again, here's another black Trans Am. Tell you what, Smokey and the Bandit sold a lot of these cars for Pontiac. Okay, I'm moving to another tent now. And the first car coming in is this blue Plymouth Superbird. And they made a lot more Superbirds than they did the Daytona Chargers. So you can find these a little easier. This is all racing inspired right here. That nose to cut through the wind. This one has a 440 and an automatic. Look at that cute little doodlebug bus there. 1972. And there, I think it's a 70 Super B. Yeah, it is a 70 model. How do you like that color there? I actually like it, and I bet my wife likes it a lot because that's her favorite color on the car is green. Here's a 68 Charger, and again 68, the little round dot. I'm telling you, they put it on almost everything in 68. But anyway, 69 would have a split right here in the front of the grill. It would be coming out steel hideaway headlights, and this one should have round tail lights. So 69 will have kind of like a more rectangular shape. But here's a 69. What would say Roadrunner? Could be a satellite. I don't see any badging on it. So let's take a look. Wow, it does have a 426 Hemi. That's with 2 4s. That's really all the badging you need there, isn't it? And it is actually a satellite, which it's the same body there. So this one has been created. I don't think you could get the 426 and the satellite, or at least it wouldn't have been the standard issue. But at the same time, you know, back in the day, you could actually order a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do now. Yeah, it's a 526 Hemi, and chances are this car will probably come with a 318 or maybe 383 being a satellite. But look, here's one of the early Corvettes. Again, here's the what I call the tennis racket headlights, which they kind of tried to duplicate in a way on that recreation there that they made out of that newer Corvette. That's where they all got started with. This is a 54. I think the first year was 53. Look, the radio actually crossways in the dash there before they started putting them up and down in the console. Now it says this one still has that straight 6-cylinder engine, which was I think called the Blue Flame. But you know, we kind of frown on 6-cylinder engines, but you know, it all started from the flatheads and these early 6-cylinders. But the reason I'm mentioning that is yesterday I took a ride in one of the, I think the Dodge Charger Daytona, the one they're making electric. But you can also get a turbocharged 6-cylinder inline 6, but it makes 550 horsepower. And I took a ride in it yesterday, and it was actually pretty impressive. So, you know, they're doing incredible things with technology now. Look at this 70 GTX. That's one of my favorite cars right here. I think this GTX would have come with a 440 or a 426, I think, were the two options back in the day. And this one is the 440 car. And here's you Challenger. Is this what they call the Panther Pink on this convertible here? Yep, they're calling it out, Panther Pink here. And the estimate on this one is $90,000 to $110,000. And you can see it is a good looking car. Here's a 69 Z28. Here's a Cobra. I'm guessing this is probably reproduction. I'm wanting to go to look, but I know I need to keep walking. But you don't see these Mustangs. I think these ran from like 71 to 74 maybe. This is a Boss 351, but I guess a lot of these didn't get saved or they're still in the barn somewhere. Don't see them a lot. It was like a 67 or 68, I think, Mustang, and a 69 Chevelle. Yeah, I got to keep walking because there's just too many cars, and I don't want to keep walking. I'll stop and look at them. There's a What is this? It says Nissan there, GTR, and here's a Viper. Yeah, a 67 GTO. Look at that big old Mercury. I guess this was the family station wagon back in the day. 3-row seating. This is really neat. 1941 Mercury. And here's a Mercedes here beside it. Showed you this Challenger minute ago. But this green one here is a Sublime green. This with a white top. Also. Both of those were really nice cars. A crowd started gathering around, so I had to move on before I got to the green one there. Okay, here's a 69 Pontiac Grand Prix. I actually had a 1970, and the bodies are similar, but they went to a 2 headlight system instead of 4 headlight system in 1970. But the basic body shape and the big long hood continued. I had to work on the engine. I think I had put a timing chain on that engine. I had a big block 400 in it, and this engine bay is so big. There's a fan shroud in there that's probably about a foot long, maybe a little bit more, and your radiator. But there's so much room in there that I just took the fan shroud off, and when I removed the fan and everything, I could just stand in there and work on it because there's just so much room underneath that hood. But this is a Model J with a 400. The SJ would have a 455. And here's a 427 Corvette next door to it here. 68 model. And I don't know the year model on this one. I don't see the split in the back, so probably 64 through 66. Yeah, 65. There are slight differences in them, but I can't remember off the top of my head most of the time. And there, as you can see, it does have the vertical mounted radio in there. Here's an International Scout, and I've seen Jeeps and Broncos with the deep water kit, but I don't remember ever seeing the International Scout with that on there. This allows it to breathe if the water gets too deep. You move the air intake up here to the top so it doesn't get drowned out. It's the Jeep Scrambler. This is kind of like got a truck type area back here in the back. On these a little bit longer. Hey, look at the paint job on that 64 Corvette right there. Now here's a little Roadster. It's 32 model. What amazes me about these cars is when you get original one with the fenders on it and everything, they just look completely different. Now if you're in the market for a Rolls Royce, they've got you covered for that too. One of the newer Hellcats there. Here's a 62 Oldsmobile convertible. No estimate on it, either on price. And there's a big Lincoln Continental. Oh, look at that. There's a Gran Torino Sport. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, this is a 1972 model. You don't see a lot of these. And one of the ways you know it's a sport, they had 2 roofs. They had this one that came back in a fastback design, and they also had one that come down and chopped off. A friend of mine had a white one that had kind of like a prism stripe that went from like a red and then the orange and yellow going down the side of the car. Okay, another 1970 Roadrunner in that green color. It is a convertible, got the 500 wheels on there. Oh, look at that, got the pistol grip shifter in here. And look, we got the 383. Okay, here's a Cuda. Got the 440 stripe on it there. And it is the 6-barrel there. 23,000 actual miles on this 71 Cadillac here. And here's a Dodge Dart Swinger. Are these the scoops that I saw on the Charger? They look familiar. Well, that one's really clean. Okay, there's a Swinger, and it just so happens, let me swing her out here. There's a 66 Charger sitting over here, and as you can see, no scoops like those on the Dart there. This one got 440 badging on it. It's got the, yeah, I was looking in here, you see the console goes from the front all the way between the back seats to the back. Isn't that a cool, neat feature there? And those seats do fold down to make a small cargo area back there in the back if you need it to. It's one of the Hellcats? I don't think so. Oh, this is the Demon. Okay, this one's supercharged and it has 1,062 horsepower. And there's a note on the car saying the lot manager has the key. Because a lot of these cars, the keys are in them. You can actually sit down in them and start it up if you're thinking about purchasing the car. Not this one. Look at this, y'all. This is a Chrysler Imperial. And doesn't that just look like a luxury car right there? I mean, it's just, to me, it's still just a good looking car. I like the way the lights are mounted up here. That was different for this year model. Let me just find out what year model it is. It's 1955. Here's a Hearst Loads. Official pace car in Indianapolis 500. So it'll be 72 model. Okay, here's another 1966 Dodge Charger. I think it's the same color as the other one we just looked at. This one says 426 426 Hemi on the badge in there on the side. 66 Corvette with 427 badging. And this is a 64. Okay, y'all, this is a 2023 Dodge Challenger Black Ghost. Okay, I'm not familiar with the Black Ghost, but it says this is one of 300 built. I think it said it had 807 horsepower. But again, I'm not familiar with this designation. But on the roof, I don't know if it's showing up on my camera, it looks like maybe some type of leopard pattern or something on the top, Black Panther or something, I don't know. But it does got these cool hood scoops here, and I don't remember the Dodge in chrome letters on the other Challengers. But I guess you find something new every day, don't you? Okay, here's another 68 Charger. And I'm guessing it says Continental on the front, so I guess this is a Lincoln Continental. 1956 model. And to tell you the truth, I don't remember seeing one of these before. And beside it, here's another 66 Charger. Okay, I'm walking out of that tent. And anyway, we've got these other tents going down through here. And there's a lot of cars that are not in a tent that are out here too. But anyway, let's look at some more. Okay, on the outside of the tent here, this is a 63 Chevrolet Biscayne instead of a Impala. It's actually a post car, as you can see there, the post there behind the front door. But this one does also have the 429, the 409 engine in here, rather, which makes it very valuable. And it is manual transmission in the floor. Now most of these you find are Impalas, and instead of 4 tail lights it would have 6, have 3 on each side. And this raised body panel down here, there would be chrome coming down through here on the Impala. This was a lower model, and it does have the dish hubcaps on there. Okay, here's a 69 GTO. And what is this? This is a big 4-door Pontiac. Look down the side of this. You see how that fin splits back here on the back? Creates that valley back to there. When you find one of these in a station wagon, it still has that little fin right beside the, I guess the interior compartment of the car. And it's just so neat looking the way that goes down through there. But anyway, let me keep going. Here's a Buick Grand National, had that turbocharged V6 in it. There'll be a 64, 65 Chevelle there. And a 69 Chevelle. I'm gonna try to keep going this hard. There's a 70 El Camino, red with black stripes. Look at that 4-door 57 wagon with the orange flame job on it there. They've removed the door handles on the back doors there, see? Here's your big Cadillac. There's a Cougar. And there's another Cougar, that's the convertible. I had a friend that had one that was similar to this. There's a Cutlass. This is a Cutlass S. See how it's got kind of like the slope back, where a regular Cutlass will have like a chopped off roof line in the back. There's a 69 El Camino. Look at, that's one of the early Barracudas right there. Still, even when they first started, it still had that fastback back glass to it there. And boy, that little Mustang convertible there is really shiny. Looks good. There's a big Oldsmobile convertible. And there's a Hurstodes. Let's see if it's got the lightning rods in there. Yeah, there they are. Well, that's a good looking Camaro there. They've done some modification on. And I want to keep walking, but I want to see what it did at the same time. But yeah, I like the look of this. But it looks like the estimate is 25 to 35,000. It's got it listed here as a 80 model, but it's probably 70. Probably what they meant to put. I think this body style ran 70 to 73. And look, he relocated his fuel filler over there. Yeah, this is a pretty neat car right here. The GT 350 Mustang there. '69, '70 El Camino. There's a '67. There's an early '70s Camaro. Yeah, I'm trying to keep walking, everybody. That's the next generation Barracuda to come after the one we just looked at there. Another '67. Boy, that one's shiny. That black with that red nose stripe. '66 Corvette. And look, there's the '69 Roadrunner. Again, one of my favorites. It's an AAR Cuda. Another Buick Riviera. We've seen a few of those. This is classic. The red Chevelle Super Sport with the black stripes. There's '63, and that one is an Impala. And there's that chrome that I told you would be on the bottom when we were looking. I think it was a Belvedere. We were looking, no, not a Belvedere, but I don't remember. Was it a Biscayne? Anyway, that's the higher trim on the '63. And here's a Porsche. Oh, look at the color on that '57. Looks good in that color. And there's the two hood bulges too that I was talking about when we were talking about the Corvette earlier. And in '57, I had them other years too, but in '57, it seemed like everything had them on there. Okay, I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know if this is a kid's car or what, but it says Mirage on there. Okay, this is a '28 Ford right here, but we got to take a closer look at this. The way they've got it displayed here, they got moonshine and a gator head down here in the front. As you can see, he's used some they look like old Cadillac taillights, but they're amber. But got an old moonshine keg there on the side, wicker picnic basket. And purple interior. Here's the Cadillac taillights back here. Got mirrors here where you can see underneath it there. '69 Camaro. There's a custom build 57 there. Pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, I think this is the first AMX I've saw here. I haven't seen AMX or Javelin until now. American Motors muscle car at the time. There's a little Volkswagen thing, 74 mile. Boy, I like that pickup truck right there. Mid 60s. It's really clean. There's a Mercedes. There's a '64 5 Chevelle. Jeep. Look at this Toyota pickup truck here. That is really clean looking. The old Dodge pickup truck here. Okay, and was that one of the old depot hacks there? And this one says Model T depot hack. Now the story on these is years ago when people, in 1921, people still crossing the country by train for the most part, and they come into town on the train, and these would pick them up at the depot, and you see how big they are. They could get several people in here and then haul a little bit of luggage. So that's the reason they're called depot hacks. They were for the train depots. This one is not referred to on the paperwork as a hack, but the other one is. So I don't know if they changed the designation over the years or what, as people quit taking trains as much. Okay, here's a 49 Plymouth Woody wagon. And I'm telling you, Woody wagons are just cool. I don't know what people thought about them years ago. They might have actually frowned upon them because they were made out of wood instead of metal, but they're just so neat. It says this is a 79 Excalibur, what the paperwork says there. Here's a Toyota Land Cruiser, which is a very utilitarian vehicle. You know, it seems like you see a lot of these if you ever watch nature shows where they're, you know, on safari somewhere or something, that they've always got some type of variation of these that they're using. A little Porsche 944. And here's a Cobra. Let's take a look at the window and see what it says on this one. Yeah, this is a reproduction, but it looks really good. It's very, on the curb, it looks really good sitting out here, even though it's not on the curb. There's another Porsche 944. This one's a convertible. Okay, here's a Trans Am convertible, 2002 with 47,000 actual miles. Got that hood on there that I like. And here's an Audi SUV here. And there's a Dodge pickup truck, probably, what, late 70s or so? Well, I missed that a long way if the paperwork's right. It says it's a 91 model. And here's a Mercury Marauder. Another late 50s, early 60s Corvette here. I think it's early 60s. Okay, here's another white with blue stripes Trans Am. This one is a convertible with a blue top. And there's another Toyota Land Cruiser. This one is a truck. And what we got, old delivery.
They're saying 15 to 25. It's a Speedster.
It says this is a 25 Ford Speedster. And look at this little car right here. A 1964 King Midget. And this thing is small. It's got like big wheelbarrow wheels on there or something. Here's another one of the modified cars that look like one of the older Corvettes here. What's a nice Jeep? Look at the big old wheels on that one. Yeah, it's sitting up. Another big Rolls Royce there. I can't remember what these are called. I did know them as a Chrysler Corporation car. Crossfire, yeah. Had to step over and look. I like the blue on that Jeep there. 55, very stock looking there, isn't it? As is that 57. '67 Chevelle convertible. It's one of the smaller Cadillacs they made for a while, Lante or something, I think. Anyway, here's a Roadrunner, like early 70s. And these, they're going up in price, but I think you can still get into these fairly reasonable. Hey, this one's going to be a little bit more. They estimate this one 65 to 75, but it is a 4-speed manual. You know, it looks like it's got like 26,000 miles, which is it's a good looking car right here. It's a 71. And here's a LTD2. My father-in-law actually had one of these. It says this is a 41 Packard. Look at that, isn't that kind of a cute little car? Got white, yellow, tan top. So it says it's a Mercury. Hey, look at that. That's fancy, isn't it? Jaguar. Y'all, this is our first video of the year, and I did retire close to the end of last year, so hopefully this year we're going to be able to visit a lot more places, but we're planning on going to some Good Guys shows and NSRA shows. But we appreciate you watching the channel, and if you haven't subscribed to it, we appreciate if you do that too. Look at that Challenger, that's pretty. We appreciate if you would subscribe. There's another one of the Volkswagen things there. But yeah, we'd appreciate if you would subscribe. I think I told y'all last year my goal was 100,000 subscribers, and I was at like 7,000 at the time, so I only needed 93,000 more. But now I'm at like 8,700, so now I only need 91,000 and 300, I think. So y'all go ahead and knock it out, and I would appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully we'll go to a lot of car shows this year and take a look at some nice vehicles, and at times some not so nice vehicles. But you can take one that's not so nice and make it nice. Okay, I hadn't seen a black Ghost Challenger until today, but now I've seen two, because here's another one. And here's a little 240Z. It's Datsun. That was before Nissan bought Datsun. But anyway, I had a friend of mine, he had a yellow one just like this, and his had slots on it too. But anyway, me and him would go places in it, and he had a younger brother, and it's only a 2-seat car, but his brother would kind of try to tuck back into the hatch area back here and ride, and the three of us would go down the road. And so he abused that car, but it held up. I mean, it was really a good car. Hey, here's another one of the big Lincolns. And here's a little Fiat. Have no idea what year model. Guess I can look as I go by here. It's a 63 model. It's one of the Novas. You don't see this body style a whole lot. The early 70s are the most popular. There's an Alfa Romeo, another Porsche, Mercedes. Yeah, I don't know very much about these cars. There's a 57 two-door wagon. Boy, I like that color on there. That looks really good. That should bring a pretty good price there, because it looks really clean. And there's a Mustang, I guess mid-90s or so. Actually, it's a 2000 model. I think this body style started around, what, 95 or so? Then they started changing the front end and stuff a little bit. like the 69 Camaro. I like the way he color matched the headlight covers there on the hideaways. It's a pretty sinister looking car. I actually like that. Here's a Cuda. What? No. What is this? What's going on here, y'all? There's 4 doors on this car. I'm supposed to have 2 total. It says built by Dave Walton in 2016. Well, that's a custom job there, isn't it? I wasn't expecting to see that. '69 Chevelle here. Okay, and this is the Novas I was referring to as the ones that are probably a little bit more popular than the body style we went by. There's the AMX. That's the second one I saw. But the 66 and 67 Novas are probably my favorite of the Novas. There's an early 70s Z28. Okay, y'all, I'm losing my voice. But I've been in the tents and inside so far. But as you can see, they got all these cars out here too to be sold. But I've got to go get something to eat and drink because I'm getting tired. So anyway, I'm going to try to film some as I'm walking back toward the food court area. I'll swing over here behind me. Let's see that Volkswagen bus there. Oh, that's one of the Alpine editions. It's got the windows up around the roof line there. There's the Studebaker that I thought the car that I saw earlier was. It was a Packard that we saw earlier, but that's the car I was thinking of when I first saw it. That's a nice looking orange pickup there. They made that one an extended cab. There's another Alpine edition.
The bid goes on.
A lot of times I'll do these car shows and I'll get comments, why didn't you go look at a certain car they saw in the background? And I would like to get to all of them. There's just too many. And sometimes I'll be planning to go to a car, but there'll be a crowd around it, and I'll just bypass it, and the crowd never goes away, so I never get back to it. Other times, like now, I just get tired and thirsty. I go get something to drink before I pass out here. But there's so much stuff to look at here.
We raise money for a charity. The name of that charity is Curing Cancer. Here with us today is... 'Cause 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 '
Now they do have collectibles and everything in here too that they auction off. Wow, look at that old work station right there. It's pretty neat. Yeah, and I actually enjoy looking at some of this old stuff as much as I do the cars. I am in the air conditioning now, though.
Sells in the high spinner, sells it no reserve. It's all chrome down there. 10,000, who got 10? On the truck. 10, 12, 900, anybody get 12,000, you're gonna get 15, down 17, down 20,000. 800, anybody get 20, you're gonna get 20, anybody get 20,000. 50, anybody get 20,000. Up there in the white shirt, Jay. You're gonna get 20,000, you're gonna get 18, now 20. 800, anybody get 20, you're gonna get 20, anybody get 20, 19, now 20,000. 50, anybody get 20, now 2. 2, you're gonna get 2, anybody get 5. 23, I'll take 800, anybody get 2, spinning down 3. 23,000, gonna be 2, gonna be 3, 3, pull it drive, load it up. 23, 24, 24,000.
A cigar machine. Don't know if I've ever saw one before.
24,000 a white shirt. 24,000. 15, 17,000. 800, anybody get 15, 17, down 20, 20,000. 18, 19, 19,000.
That 427 sign there's pretty neat looking. Look at the little Wurlitzer jukebox.
And 15, I'm gonna be 15, I'm gonna be 30, down 30, down 20, now I'm gonna get 10, and I'm gonna be $10, 15, down 20, and I'm gonna be 20 bid, 15's all 25, and I'm 20 bid, 5 paired, I'm gonna be 5, 20's in the back, gonna be 5, got a bear, I'm gonna be 5, down 20, down 5, hit 5, I'm gonna be 5, down 5, I'm gonna be 20, 25,000, hit 20, I'm gonna be Lord's going 2, I'm gonna be 25, and if you get 22, I'm 17, I'm gonna be down 20, 20, I'm gonna be down 25, I'm at 24, down, I'm gonna get 5, down, I'm gonna be down 50, pounds there, under David get 45 to bid, 47. I get 45 down under David get 70 water, 47, 40, 50, now 50, Mr. Champ.
Okay, y'all, I went in and sat down and cooled off a little bit and on the auction floor drank something. And I come back out, I'm entering into a room now. This is the Cliff Ernst collection, if I'm saying that correctly. But as you can see, they're 69 Yenko right here. And as I pan around the room here, here's another 69 Yenko, followed by another and another and another. And there's rooms like this all around the auction where there's just fantastic cars that are just, it's just amazing seeing these. Looks like these are all fully restored. As you can guess, my wife loves that green over there. You like the color on this Yenko? Isn't that neat? And here's something special about this car here. Let me show you. It says 1969 Chevrolet Yenko Camaro prototype. So this was the pilot test car. Like the way they did this, if you've ever put together model cars and you remember breaking out the body parts from the little Christmas tree that they came on, but isn't that neat the way they did that? Cool display. And they're numbered too. Fan is number 72 there. Also got this 69 Nova in here, 427 powered.
30,000, 35,000, what's his name, 32, is that his name, 32, 35, yeah, 32, 35,
Here's the staging area out here. Cars going through. There's a custom, what is that, a Mercury Comet? Yeah. Oh, look at that 62. That's really a pretty car. Green and cream color there. And there's a Dodge D100 truck. Okay, y'all, I went into one of the buildings, and I'm gonna try my best to just walk through here. But we're gonna be here today and tomorrow. But there's so many cars, there's no way I'm gonna get to stop and take a look at all the cars. So I'm gonna walk through here and just kind of show y'all some of the cars I have in here. There's an early 70s Charger with the hideaways there. There's another one of the Shelbys. Well, a couple more Shelbys. Let me swing around here. There's from some of the Ford GTs. Several of them there.
All of this and much, much more crossing the block here at Kissimmee. Mecum is the world's largest collector car auction.
There's a 62 convertible, even got fender skirts on it there. So they got the fender mounted side view mirrors there. There's a RT convertible there. Oh, it's got Hemi on the hood scoops too. Oh, and there's those hood scoops again that I saw on the Charger. I thought they came from this car. But anyway. Old Dodge truck there. That's just really neat looking, isn't it? Oh, here's one of the old Corvettes there. Got the tennis racket headlights. It's 54. And there's old Jeepster. And what is that? Is that a Cadillac or something? Look on that, that's a Chrysler Town and Country. Look at that Bronco there. Got cut down for off-road or something there, it looks like. There's a 57 convertible. And a 56 convertible. Okay, it's around 3:30, 4 o'clock now. And I think the event is supposed to be over at 5, but I'm not sure if we're going to be done or not. But either way, I'm not going to be able to do a lot more filming today. But I have seen a lot of areas that I'm going to get to tomorrow. So I don't know how much more I'm going to film on this one today. I do, again, I appreciate you watching. And hopefully you enjoyed it. I know, I'm just really happy. Boy, that's a pretty car. Those colors go really well together. Who come up with the orange wheels though? I wouldn't imagine that, but I do think it looks good together. And my wife saw that Plymouth Superbird neon sign there. And I think she kind of fell in love with it. There's Roll Lifesavers over there in neon. And if you need a welcome to Las Vegas sign in neon, they've got you covered right here. I'm telling you, the old memorabilia and signage. Look at that old boat ride there. The old visible globe pumps there. Yeah, we remember these sitting on the islands years ago when we went and got gas. Another shot of that car from this side.
Dozens of collections. They've been carefully curated and assembled by some of the most discerning and knowledgeable collectors of automotive dreams. And they include some of the finest in the world, starting with the Cliff Ernst collection. Decades of meticulous curation embodied his detail-heavy assemblies, highlighted by the 1960s. It's the Funkmaster Flex collection. Vintage muscle cars and more from the 60s and 70s make up the bulk of this high-quality collection. From the famed American DJ, rapper, record producer, and radio station host.
Look at the flame job in the coves of the, actually it's on the coves and the hood there.
Pre-war automobiles form the core of the Pete Toto collection, led by icons from Packard, Duesenberg,
That's
Cadillac,
good paint.
and Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
While a 57 Chevy Bel Air and an 05 Ferrari F430 Spider add their own flair to it. With a heavy focus on mid-century machines, the Jack Shoemaker collection includes more than 50 classic and collector cars that range from 1920s era Model A's and Studebakers to a 2009 Nissan GTR. The Frank Carabezos collection is the height of 50s and 60s classics. From the futuristic tail fins of the Ford Thunderbird to the show-stopping silhouettes of the Jaguar E-Type and Shelby GT500 KR. Absolute legends in absolute immaculate condition. Corvettes and Volkswagens play starring roles in the My Garage Museum construction, made up entirely of BMW's innovative and sporty C-Model. This lineup represents 4 different generations of the iconically styled roadsters, including one special C8 Alpina. The original pony car leads this high-performing, highly accoladed herd of fan favorites, which features a number of coveted first-generation examples, like a rare Shelby GT350 carryover and a 1965 K-Code Mustang. And things just keep getting better. Well known for its consistent presentation of rare, high quality, and much sought after offerings, the aptly named 8-pack collection returns to Kissimmee 2026 with another Guatemalan rarity. The offer of Kissimmee is the Bottom collection. This group of 46 cars is among the world's preeminent Ferrari collection. It includes pristine, low mileage examples from early legends to modern supercars. Many of which incorporate more updated features and elements from the 1957 concept factory and combined with added improvements of a modern powertrain and chassis. And finally, what is without question the main attraction of the Mecum Kissimmee 2026, the Bianco Speciale, a one-of-a-kind 1962 Ferrari 350 GTO. Chassis number 3729 GT, the only 250 GTO ever dressed in a factory white.
That's an unusual jukebox over there, isn't it? And look at this. I guess it's a slot machine there. I think it's one of those old roll machines where you put the penny in and crank it. and it shows you a little film. Can't remember what they're called. Mutoscope. That's not the name I was thinking of, but that's probably the correct name. Well, there's another jukebox like that one I said was unusual looking. And have you ever saw one of these? It's an Apple vending machine. That's really cool right there. And I have seen those blue Pepsi machines before, but not very often. Some old vending machines. Vending machines, old pinball machines. 69 pace car. The 70 Roadrunner in that green. And there's a Challenger. There's a Boss 302 Mustang there. Another Ford GT. Look at this 73 Dodge Monaco with the hideaway headlights here. You don't see these very often, do you? Now these cars I think will be going through first thing in the morning tomorrow. I've got staged here. $77,000 miles, all original, like new. Done some custom work on this Corvette here, fired out the fenders. Here's a couple of Monte Carlos lined up for tomorrow. This one is a 72. I think that body ran from 70 to 72. And this body back here started in 73 and ran through 77, I think, or 78. But anyway, this will be, I think, like a 76 or 77. But anyway, you can see how much that car changed. When it first came out in 73, this wouldn't have had the stacked lights. It would have had a round backpedaling out there, but you probably know that. If you're interested enough in cars to watch this video, you probably already know that. And I do read a lot about cars, and I try to get things right, but y'all forgive me if I get something wrong sometimes, because I will.
Sorry about that.
Ah, you good, man? You're gonna be a celebrity now. You're gonna be a celebrity now. Look, there's none of those Jeepsters over there. It's a Dale Earnhardt Edition Monte Carlo. The more I walk around this place, the more tents I keep finding, and the more cars I keep finding in different buildings. And yeah, I just don't know my way around here yet. There's too many hidden spots for them to hide cars. Look at that old Oldsmobile convertible. Followed by a GTO there. I like the turquoise 57 over there. It says this 57 has a 327 engine with an automatic transmission. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and do my closeout for this video. I am gonna still film a few more cars, but I'll go ahead and do my closeout now, and that way when I get ready to go, I can just get in the car and leave. But I haven't been in the tent behind me yet, and I haven't been to several other places. Maybe I'll get to them tomorrow, hopefully, or a lot of them anyway. But I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But hopefully you did, and hopefully you'll catch us again in another video. But until then, may God bless you. And again, I hope we'll see you again. Bye, y'all. It's a nice looking 442. Light's not that good here in the tent. That looks like it's got that color changing paint on it, on this little Datsun here. Get a different color depending on the angle you view the paint from. Big old Cadillacs, like 62 or 3, somewhere in there maybe. I'll go ahead and look. The 62. That says Shelby. Shelby Series 1. Okay, 1998 Mustang. It says 200 original miles. It is a manual GT. There's one of the 78 model pace cars. Yep, with a Pontiac. And look at that. Twin turbocharged.